I'm Chelsea Royce. In this training, we'll be covering what Google Analytics is, how to use it and analyze your data, as well as how to enhance your ad performance using your Google Analytics data. So when you look at your website data, this will give you information to go ahead and then update your ad audiences or your ad campaigns to help you get more conversions, better conversions, and more for your return on investment when running ads. So you want to go to analytics.google.com to go to your analytics account. If you don't have an account yet, you'll go ahead and walk through the steps of setting up an account, and it is also associated with your Gmail account. So it'll ask you to log into your Gmail account associated with your Google Analytics. So up top here, you can click all website data, and if you have multiple websites, they'll be under this section. So you go ahead and select the website of which one you want to go ahead and see your data for. So up top here, you have the statistics of your website, and you can categorize it by the last month that you want, or the last 30 days, 90 days, whatever it is that you want. So this is selected for the last 7 days, which you can select down here to go ahead and change it. On the sidebar here, it also shows you the active users. So how many people are currently active and what pages they are on. And then as you scroll down, it shows you how you acquire your users. So are they from referrals of other websites? Are they from social media? Are they from the organic search engines? Are they direct where somebody just types in your website, and it goes ahead and shows the amount, what day as well. And then you can keep scrolling down and it'll go ahead and show you where are your users from. So it shows you which countries are most of your users coming from. So for example, this example, we have more users in the United States. You can also see the time of day and then the session by device. So if it's desktop, mobile, or tablet, you can go ahead and see that. Then it also shows you what pages the users visit. So this is good to know of maybe what product is getting the most views or what blog posts, to know what your audience likes. So it gives you the pages, the page views, and you can see if you have Google Ads running, you'll be able to go ahead and see your Google Ad data here for the amount of clicks and revenue spent. And then in order to go ahead and optimize your campaigns the best that you can with your audiences, you'll want to go ahead and click on Audiences on the side left-hand bar. You'll go ahead and click on Overview. So you're able to go ahead and adjust the date range right up here in the top right-hand corner by selecting the drop down and selecting the dates that you want to go ahead and view that data from. So if you're running ads, you could go ahead and view that data of the ads time period that you're running them, and you can see it allows you to select the dates that you would like. So you now have the data of how many users went to your website based off of the time period that you choose. You can put your mouse over it and it'll show you the exact number of users. And if you scroll down, you can see more data of those users. So how many of those are new users, how long they were on pages, the amount of different pages viewed, and the bounce rate, which would be anybody that potentially went to your website and then got off of it. It also has a little graph here of new users versus returning users. So this would be good data to know if you're getting new users based off of your ad, or if you're getting more of the returning visitors if you're utilizing retargeting ads of a different part of your audience section. And one thing that's neat about Google Analytics is you can compare it to time periods as well. So you can use the drop down of the time period section up top. So I'll click on the arrow pointing down and you can see there's compare to. So we'll go ahead and select it. So now I'm comparing 2 different years from each other. It then goes ahead and shows you 2 different statistics data. So that will then allow you to compare different ad data based off of when you're running, maybe past ads versus future ads. But let's get into now how to utilize it for your audiences. So you can go into your ads account to go ahead and make these edits based off of the data of your Google Analytics. Or if you're creating a new campaign, you can use those analytics to go ahead and create the best campaign based off of your audiences and what your website users are. So you always want to make sure you're reaching the people that are the most relevant to your business. This is why it's so important to do this and how it can help. So it allows you to go ahead and create your ad based off of languages. So if you know your targeting audience's language, you can go ahead and put that in, or you can go to your Google Analytics to see the data from it. So under the audience overview, you'll go to Geo. Then you'll go ahead and select language. So if you scroll down, you'll be able to then see your top languages of users that go to your website. So for this example, the top 4 are English and then Spanish. And under goal conversion rate, it'll give you more data of which ones are actually converting. So for example, there's English in the US, so that's what the EN-US stand for. And then 18% is actually English.Australia. So that's what the EN-AU stands for. So that is saying that people that speak English and located in Australia are some of my top customers based off of the conversion goal rate. So for this data, it tells us that English is the best language. You'll go back to your campaign and you'll go ahead and select English under languages here. Next, we'll go ahead and get into location. So you'll see it says select locations to target, and you can click advanced search as well to search more locations. But we want to go to our analytic data to see the best location. So under Geo, we'll go ahead and click on location in our Google Analytics. So then we can now see our top location as well as the top locations of conversions. So we see United States is our top location of users coming, then Canada, then United Kingdom. So this data is good to know that the United States is my prime target audience. But one thing you want to keep in track of more of the data. So for example, Australia, it tells me that the Australians have a longer duration on my website. They also have a 16% of conversion rate. So that's good to know as well, that a lot of my conversions still come from Australia. So potentially I could go ahead and add that as an audience to go ahead and maybe split test between United States versus Australia, or I could go ahead and just put that in my audience as United States and Australia. So this is how you continuously update your audience, your ads, to continuously optimize them for the best performance. So I could come into the location and I could type in Australia to go ahead and utilize that as a new location. And you want to go ahead and also definitely keep in your business in mind. So if you don't do business in Australia, or you don't ship your products there, then you wouldn't want to go ahead and select this. If you do, then you could do this as an option to continuously optimize your ads. And you can even get more detailed into this. So you can go ahead and click on United States, and it'll drop down with more data based off of the states. So this data is telling me Florida is a top state of my visitors. And you definitely want to check into the rest of the data. So for example, Illinois here tells me that the average duration is only 35 seconds, so not that good. The conversion rate goal is only 6%. So you want to not only just look at the one that's driving the most users, but also which one is driving the most conversions, because that's what we want, the most conversions and sales. You can even go ahead and click Metro, which will break it down more. You can click on Add a Dimension or Metric. So you could say if users are greater than 150, we'll click on Apply. Then it's only going to go ahead and pull us the data for the metro areas that have at least 150 users in the time period that we select. So we can scroll down and you can click on conversion rate. This will then go ahead and categorize them by the top conversion rate. So now it shows us that we are getting the most conversions in Cleveland, Ohio. Next, Atlanta, Georgia. Then Houston, Texas. So these could be areas that we go ahead and just run our ads to the areas that we're getting the most users, because we know that area, those people are liking our content, our product, service, and what we're offering. You can also select average session duration, because we know those people that are on our site longer are typically scrolling for more information. So then you can go back to your audience section and we can start adding in these new areas to target people based off of the areas that we're getting the best results from our analytic data. So we'll continue to just go ahead and add these in. We're going back. We'll go ahead and select the city that we want. We'll go ahead, type it in. and just click target. Once you have all the cities in, you'll then go ahead and click save. So then under demographics, you have your age, gender, parental status, and household income, where we can go ahead and get more detailed in this section. So in our Google Analytics, we'll go ahead and go to demographics and click on overview. So this tells us the data of majority of users, if they're male or female. So this is telling us more of our users are female, and then it also tells us our age group. So it's showing that 55 to 64 is our top age group. And as you put your mouse over it, it'll tell you what percentage of users it is. So I can then go back into the Google Ads. I'll go ahead and select demographics, and it'll allow me to go ahead deselect any age groups that I want to get rid of, as well as gender, parental status, and household income. By the data, majority of my users are female, so I'll go ahead and unselect male and unknown. And then for the age group, I'll select the ones that I got the most data of users within their age. And then household income, you want to think of the products that you're selling. So are they high ticket or are they low ticket? That will go ahead and differentiate your household income if you need to target people that have a higher income or not. So for this website example, it is for a high income. Say for example, home decor. So I'm going to go ahead and do the top 10%, 11 to 20, and 21 to 30%. So we'll go ahead and select those. Parental status, you'll want to think if your product is more for those that are parents. So maybe, for example, your business is about products and services for those that just had a baby, then you'll want to go ahead and select them as a parent. And then next is audiences. So we'll go ahead and click the drop down. It'll then drop down. You can click on browse and you'll go to who they are, which will give more detail into your demographics. You can do affinity and custom affinity, audiences, where you're building audiences based off of the interest, and then also any life events or what they're actively searching, as well as remarketing or similar audiences for that. So to get your data for this, you'll go back to your Google Analytics, you'll click on interest and overview, and then you can select affinity categories. This will tell us different categories that are driving the most users based off of like food and dining, shoppers, based off of the interests and habits that they're using on Google. So we'll go ahead and click on the conversion rate to go ahead and categorize it by the top conversion based off of our goal. And you can see the top is sports and fitness. We also have media entertainment, sports and fitness, vehicle transportation, food and dining. So this gives me all ideas of the audience, what type of interest they have. I can also click users to see the top users. Shows us home and garden decor, shoppers and bargain hunters. So this would show me different affinity audiences that I can go ahead and add to my ads to get better results. So I'm getting more detailed as time goes on of who my audience is to go ahead and target them even better. And then you can click on in-market segments. So I can take this data and go back to my Google Ads. I can go ahead, go to search, browse, and I can go ahead, click the in-market segments, and I can go ahead select the ones based off of the Google Analytics data. As you see, I select it, it'll come up as one selected. And so this gives you a way that you can find more audiences or your ad data to continuously optimize. And then also you can go ahead and utilize the remarketing or similar audience section. So we'll come back to our Google Analytics. You'll go ahead and click on audience, and then you'll want to go down to behavior. And then we can click on site content and select all pages. So this will go ahead and tell us our top pages, as well as give us some audiences that we can go ahead and rebuild. So you can search your top pages by page views. So you can go ahead and select one of those, and it'll give you your top pages. So the first that's just dash, that is your home page. The next one that's dash with your permalink, it tells us that this page, the best wooden beach signs, is getting the top page views. And then below that, it shows there's a specific wood sign that a lot of people are looking at. So you could create remarketing ads based off of these pages, so people that have went to these pages. So we can create audiences based off of people that have went to this page or certain pages. This allows you to then go ahead and retarget those users that have went to these pages. So for example, we know that a lot of people have selected this third one, the wood sign. So we could potentially retarget those that have went to it but not purchased yet and give them maybe a coupon for it, for an example. And you can go ahead and select what pages you want to go ahead and retarget those users by creating an audience. So remember, you can create your audience in the Google Ads account as well as your Google Analytics. So we'll go ahead and scroll down, select the settings button, and you'll click on audiences here. See the past audiences that you created, and then you would select new audience to go ahead and create a new audience with the pages. So for example, some of them are already created, so I'll go ahead and open one created, and it goes ahead and shows you the pages that are already going to be retargeting for this audience. When you're creating one, you put in the pages. So we'll go ahead and select new audience, and it'll allow you to go ahead and create the audience. So new users, any returning users, or users that have went to a specific web page. So for this example, we're going to do a user that have went to a specific web page. You can see it says page contains. We'll go ahead and select the pencil, and you can go ahead and click there. It'll drop down so you can select the pages that you want. And then you'll just go ahead and click or to add more. So we'll go ahead and select all of them that we would want to go ahead and set up as this audience. So we'll go ahead and select all of them that we want to go ahead and set up as this audience. When we have them all selected, we'll go ahead and click apply. You can change the amount of days that you want. And then you'll just title it something that you'll remember this audience by. And then we'll click next step. We'll add the destination, so that is your analytic. You want to make sure you select your Google Analytics so it goes under there. And then click publish. And now you have created an audience to go ahead and retarget your users based off of your Google Analytics data. So now when we're back into the Ads Manager, and you can select on remarketing for that audience that you just created. So this is how you can be utilizing Google Analytics to continuously update your audience and optimize those ads for the best performance. So you'll continue with setting up your ad, or if you have ads running, you can edit the data based off of looking at your Google Analytics. So be sure to continuously check in on your Google Analytics in order to optimize your ads for the best results.